Good morning. I want to do a little review with you this morning because you're going to have a little quiz. Nothing to be worried about. It's going to be everything that we've been working on for weeks and weeks and weeks and just kind of putting it all together. So I want to review with you this morning. Okay. So the first thing that you're going to see 3 kinds of problems on your quiz. And the first one is evaluating. Now, before I get too much further, I want to just remind you that if you're just watching this, you might as well turn it off. Okay? Because if you're just watching this and not participating, if your brain is not active, then you're not going to get much out of it. So the answer is to work along with me. So make sure you have some paper and pencil or a whiteboard or something so that you can do these problems along with me. Okay. So when we're evaluating, remember, it's when they give us the value of the variable. So here they're giving us the value. They're giving us the value of y. And we know that anywhere we see an x, we can put an 8. Because this little guy here tells us that x is the same as 8. It's just the same. So we can just substitute it, plug it right in there. Okay? So now let's look at our little problem here. Number 1 says 3x over 2y. So the first thing we have to remember is, what does 3x mean? Are they asking us to add, subtract, multiply, or divide? They are asking us to multiply. So we need to remember that we're multiplying whenever we see 2 things kind of snuggling up together. Okay? The next thing I see in this problem is I see this fraction bar or a slash. What does this want us to do? So that bar wants us to divide. And finally, we see another example of multiplication here when the 2 and the y are snuggling up. And so we're going to have some multiplication and division in this problem. All right, let's go ahead and get started. So the first one says 3x. I know that x is 8. So I'm going to write 3 times 8. Okay, I'm going to just draw the bar for now. And then what am I going to write for the bottom part? What is this telling me to do? All right, on the bottom, you should have 2 times 2, okay, because the 2 is y. All right, so now I have some actual simplifying to do. So 3 times 8 is on top, and 3 times 8, use your calculators. You can always use notes and calculators on quizzes, in this class anyway. 3 times 8 is 24. I'm going to draw my fraction bar, or my dividing. And then 2 times 2 is 4. So the last thing I have here is 24 divided by 4. What is 24 divided by 4? I hope you chose 6 as your final answer. And remember, we haven't done a lot on paper and pencil this year, but whenever you have a quiz in math that's on paper and pencil, you're going to need to show your steps like I just did for you, and always box or circle up your answers. Okay? All right, let's look at the next one. Oh boy, okay, xy plus x squared. Again, when we look at this problem, the first question we ask is, what is it? What is it asking me to do? So what is this asking you to do? What is xy telling you to do? That is telling you to multiply. Okay? And then what is this part telling you to do? What does x squared actually mean? So, all right. So remember that x squared does not mean 2 times x. Because if I wanted to have 2 times x, my friends, I would write 2x. That's how I would show that in algebra. But that's not what we see there. We see x squared. And you just need to remember that that is a bossy little number. He's so bossy. And he's telling this x to multiply by itself 2 times. So we basically have here x times x. All right, so let's go figure out what this all means in terms of 8 and 2. So xy means x times y. So I'm going to multiply 8 times 2. I'm just going to bring down my plus. And then I'm going to have x times itself. Well, x is 8, so that's going to be 8 times 8. I have a question for you now. What am I going to do first? Am I going to multiply or add? What do the order of operations tell me to do first? I sure hope you said multiply. So 8 times 2 is 16, plus 8 times 8. Hopefully you have a calculator or you know your math facts and you wrote down 64. Final answer is 16 plus 64 is 80. So that's my final answer. Okay? All right. Hope that makes sense. Let's go ahead and do the next kind of problem, which is just this. So you definitely want to have your math notes open today, gang, for this quiz. I don't know why you would make it hard on yourself because all the operations are right there. Okay? So have those math notes open. And let's see, what's the operation for triple? So if you looked at your math notes, you know that triple is one of the words that is multiplication. And I want to remind you that try means 3. So really what this means is multiply something by 3 if you see that word. How about decreased? Where do you find decreased? Decreased is a subtraction word. And of course, when we are writing these problems down, the order really matters. So just keep that in mind as we go to the next part. Write an algebraic expression. Okay, a number in 7 equal groups. I want to remind you that whenever you see a number, you can use any variable you want. Okay, so a number in 7 equal groups. What do I see here? I see equal groups, and I know that that means division. So that's going to help me. Okay, so a number. I'm going to choose K. In 7 equal groups. Now I know that that means divide. Equal groups means divide. So I'm going to write my division and then 7. And that's it. So my answer here is K divided by 7. All right, let's look at the next one. 5 fewer than a number. Ooh, I noticed that this than is underlined, and that is telling me to remember that this is a turnaround problem. Whenever I see than, I know that the order is going to be switched or flipped. Okay, so 5 fewer than. I know that together the words fewer than mean minus. So I'm going to write a minus here. But I remember that I have to flip the order. So instead of 5 minus, I'm going to write minus 5. And then it says a number, and I can pick any variable I want. I'm going to pick n, and there we go, n minus 5. Watch out for the than, because that's going to flip your order. Okay, so that's pretty much it, gang. That is what I have for you today as far as a review goes. You got this stuff, use your notes, and if it turns out that you're struggling on the quiz, do your best, and we'll keep reviewing. No problem at all, okay? All right, have a great day. Get this done, and I will see you hopefully sometime soon on a Zoom.